Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 011111911.
There's forever chemicals in our water. The FDA says there's over 5,000 of them, and they're ending up right in our homes. And Davis Water Conditioning has solutions to help clean that water before it goes into your tap or in your glasses. Visit daviswaterconditioning.com to learn more.
That's bad.
How pathetic can some people be?
If you're a man and you're lactose intolerant, why would you ever bring that up to another man? Lactose intolerant. There's not a more annoying group on the planet.
Blue tarts.
Check that. A gluten douche.
There we go. A gluten douche.
I made the mistake of picking a restaurant. You can't do that when you go. I went with two guys. I didn't even know them. One was a gluten douche. The other was lactose intolerant. I chose a pizza restaurant. They're each trying to outdo each other. I can't have the bread. My stomach will bloat out to here. The other guy's like, I can't have cheese. I'll have to change my pants. One enough. That's what they're trying. And then out of the shadows, like a ghost, a guy with a nut allergy came over. Yo, the nut allergy is the King Kong of food allergies. Right? He was like, I'm sorry, do you guys got some food problems over here? Can I explain something to you? Let me break it down for you, okay? If I eat a nut, I die. If college kids are driving by on the local highway and one tosses out a peanut shell and the dust from that shell works its way through the air and latches onto a nasal hair and shimmies its way up, I will explode. Okay, nut allergy guy, you win. You win the food allergy competition.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
It's so true, and we all know one from each group, right? Don't we?
I don't know any nut guys, but I do know everybody else, yeah.
I guarantee you, and here's the spoiler, and I don't like to do this except for this is extreme dumbass, okay? Extreme dumbass. Somebody had an allergy, but it really wasn't technically an allergy, but decided to eat something that he shouldn't have ate.
Hey, let's do dumbass of the day. Quack, 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 quack.
Today we have to go to India. I feel like there's these countries that are overpopulated. It drives people mad, kind of like the heat does in Florida and the humidity and the cold in the upper Midwest, like Wisconsin, Minnesota. Doctors in Chhattisgarh, India, were shocked when a 35-year-old man came in who had passed away suddenly. What they found when they went inside of this is like one of those what's gross is the grossest, so prepare yourself.
Oh, really?
Okay.
It's so early for that. Hold on, let me drink.
What they found in his throat. He ate a chick. You know what a chick is? It's a baby chicken. He tried to eat it whole, and it got stuck in his throat. What's grosser than that? The chick survived.
Oh.
They were able to pull the chicken. He suffocated because the chicken has feathers and stuff on it. I don't know how hungry he was, but he ate the chick. I don't know if he did it on a dare. I have no idea. But he ate a baby chicken, and it got stuck in his throat. He couldn't swallow it down, and he died of suffocation. Doctor says, this is the first time I've encountered such a case in my career, having conducted over 15,000 postmortems. That's when somebody dies. The findings shocked us all when we went to check it out. Now, I guess there's some kind of Indian thing that says swallowing a chick is a fertility treatment.
Okay.
It'll make you virile and then make you allowed to have babies. Now, thank God we don't. Thank God we have. I mean, like as much scrutiny as we throw at the pharmaceutical, they give us Viagra and all the other stuff, right? This guy in India you have to swallow a baby chicken. And if the baby chicken lives and you don't live, guess what? You're not fertile.
This is so weird. So he
weird.
Just took a chick, he swallowed it, didn't chew it up. Which seems to be almost impossible.
That's what you got to do for
unless you're
fertility.
Joey Chestnut or something, like I
right.
can see him do
like
it.
you have the technique to, do the thing. I can get it down. His last words were, "I can get it down."
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I can get it down.
But in Indian, not in English.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure it was in some kind of local dialect.
And the next thing you know, what did it eat its way out of its body, and that's why he died because it was through his organs.
The weird thing about it is the chicken, they took him to the hospital. They're like, okay, he's dead. He's suffocated. Let's find out what autopsy. Let's find out what made him suffocate. Pulled the chick out. Chick was still living.
Jeez. Well,
what's grosser than that? That's gross.
I don't know if it's pretty gross. It would be grosser than that as if he decided to eat like a cockroach or something and the cockroach ate his brain or something. That would be pretty gross.
Always make sure you have a glass of water nearby if you're going to swallow a baby chick. For fertility. You're like, oh man, I forgot the water. Like, you ever do that? You check and take a pill, and you're like, okay, I got a really bad headache. You take the pill, and you're like, wait, I didn't get any water. I got to go get some water. And you're sitting there with the pill in your mouth, and you're running around getting a glass of water, or sticking your head underneath the sink.
The next thing you know, it's just starting to disintegrate in your mouth, and it's very bitter, and it's like, ugh, hate that.
Yeah. That's first world problems compared to what's going on in India. Congratulations, sir. Sorry that you're no longer with us. You're Jeff and Jeremy's
Dumbass of the Day. It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
Back to Red Zone Challenge. We got the 3 closest games of the week coming up. Hang on.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. Listen online at KZOZ.com.
It's the Poorhouse, Paso Robles, and Be Right There, Heating and Air. We got Leslie and Patrick, the crew, getting back together this week as we sit atop of Leslie, 26 and 19, leading the way with Patrick and Jeff behind at 24 and 21. Save Jeremy's season is working, but not fast enough. I'm still behind 500, behind the 8 ball at 20 and 25. But we'll see if we can give somebody else.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. You're not going to get there overnight.
I know, but we're getting close. I gotta start winning out, man. We got 3 games we're going to talk about this week. Denver at Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Jacksonville heads out to Vegas to take on the Raiders. And the 49ers try to save their season in Miami.
The Niners.
Those are the games we'll be talking about. You can text in if you want to save my season and possibly win $50 to the Poorhouse and $50 to Be Right There, Heating and Air. 805-543-3693. How you guys doing, man? Are you feeling better, Leslie?
Yeah. I was actually fine last week, but my allergies, when we were supposed to get on the call, they were so bad. So, luckily I wasn't sick. It was just allergies.
Got anything to say about that, Jeremy?
No, I just noticed that you said you couldn't make the call because you didn't feel well, and then there was pictures of you all over the place partying at your bar. So I was like, okay, well, I see where we sit on the priority list, but that's fine.
So those allergies come in a brown bottle. Is that what happens?
If you remember, Jeffrey, I texted you and said, "Can you give me 10 minutes?" And you're like, "No, we're starting right now." And I was like, "Shoot." I took some Benadryl and I was fine 15 minutes later.
Oh, she did text while we were in the segment. She's like, "I'm good to go now," and I was like, "Well, we're halfway through the game."
Too late. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think she's very nervous about the Charger Bronco game. That's really what I think it is. Rivalry week
tonight. Tonight is a big game for the Red Zone Challenge.
I am not nervous. I will be there in person. I'm heading to LA.
Oh, you're going? Oh, cool. How fun.
Hell yeah.
How fun. Are you going, Patrick?
I am not going.
Okay.
It is
typical Charger fan.
So the Broncos fan base will be looming large at SoFi, while there will be some Chargers fans there.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. That's our first game we're going to be picking. Denver at Los Angeles. The Chargers are 2.5-point favorite. Here's how the Red Zone Nation looks at it. The Red Zone Nation likes Denver 54%. People picking Denver to beat the Chargers, who are 8-6. The Broncos, who started rough, are 9-5 now and off to a run.
Whoa.
Leslie, ladies first. Who do you like in this one?
Well, obviously, I'm going to go with my Broncos. And here's why. The only reason, because I'm trying to, be smart and pick with my head and not my heart here. But if Herbert was 100% and if he wasn't dealing with that slight ankle injury, right now I think he's still questionable. If he was 100%, I might be a little bit tempted to go with the Chargers. But they are so banged up. I think they've got like 7 or 8 starters that are questionable. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure a few of them will play. But they just got destroyed this last weekend. And my Broncos don't look that great my offense, I should say. The last 2 games, we have not looked that great. Bo Nix only threw for 130 yards this last week. But our defense is keeping us in games. So I think if we can come out and get a good first half and not rely on our second half like we have been, I think this will be an easy win for us, hopefully. So I'm going Broncos, of course.
Patrick, why are your Chargers going to beat the Broncos?
Yes, so this is pretty good analysis by Leslie. We are not playing our best football right now, and Denver is playing good football right now. It is going to be a playoff atmosphere, and it's going to be a fun game. And it could go either way. It's going to be a coin flip. But I definitely think the Chargers will be ready for it. Another component on a short week. Anything could happen. They're not fully rested. But Chargers at home, I think they'll be revamped. They weren't really up for a non-conference game and kind of wheels fell off the wagon there against Tampa. Worst loss of the season. So I think they're going to be bounce back ability. Harbaugh will have them ready for the rivalry game in the West, and it's going to be a fun game. Chargers will win the game. I'm even going to put a final score on it for you, Leslie. I'm going Chargers 23, Denver 17.
Well, good luck. No way. We should put up a wager on this. We'll talk about. I'll text you after the.
What are you going to trade? What are you going to trade? You got to give Patrick concert tickets to every show in 2025, and then he's got to come install. He's just the salesman. He doesn't do any install work, but you got to make him install that unit on the poorhouse.
That would be huge.
He'll be calling his boss up, Mike. He'll be like, Mike, how do you do this? So I don't know if you want to win.
I would just make him clean the bar or something for a month or something.
No, get his ass.
We'll come up with a friendly wager. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
All right. Do that in the text thread. I think this is when Thursday night football starts to get really bad. And I think we saw that last week. And we had the lovely Field Goal Fest just north of SoFi in San Francisco. I think this is going to be another thing where these teams are exhausted. Okay? And rightfully so. Now, the good thing for the Denver Broncos is they're more recently off their bye, so they're a little rested up. And Sean Payton, I'm sorry, but looking at this roster heading into the season, I would have said 4 wins, 9-5. I'm like, dude, Sean Payton deserves discussion for Coach of the Year. Probably won't be talked about because he's like the new name in the coaching realm. But I think it's going to be the Denver Broncos. But it's all going to be on the leg of Will Lutz, as both defenses are better than they get credit for. And I think it will be 12-6 Denver Broncos. Same score as last week.
So you are crazy.
Same score as last week. That's the worst score ever.
Crazy talk. Our defense will put up more points than that.
Better Lutzy than good. Better Lutzy than good.
This next game takes place Sunday afternoon. It's a barn burner. The 3-11 Jacksonville Jaguars head out to Vegas to take on the 2-12 Raiders. Let's see. Red Zone Nation likes Jacksonville in this 63% on the Vegas side of things. The Raiders, a 1.5 point favorite. The over under 39.5. Leslie, who do you like?
Well, honestly, at this point, I don't even know who is on the Raiders roster anymore. I don't know who they've got back there throwing the ball. Ritter, I think.
Well, Sincere McCormick, he's their running back. He's out, and so is their Max Crosby's out too on defense.
Out of the season.
Those are both out for the season. Those are both season-ending reports. The Max side of it is probably the bigger one than whoever I think his name is Sincere. Sincere
Yeah, they have other running
McCormick.
backs.
Yeah.
He's sincerely not going to be playing.
No, he will not be.
Yeah. Even if Crosby was in there, I don't even think that the Raiders, honestly, I don't even think they want to win at this point.
No, why would you?
They want to get, you want to get the best draft pick that you can get. They need a whole rebuild of that team from the owners on down. I mean, they're just a disaster. And, I was looking at Jacksonville, who I don't really know a lot about, but I was looking at the scores of the season, and 9 of the games that they've lost this year have been by like 1 touchdown or less. Mm-hmm. So they haven't had like horrible blowouts. I think that they're going to destroy Las Vegas. So I'm taking Jacksonville all day.
Jaguars!
All right, Patrick, that means
There
you're
you
up.
go.
And they tried to win their game last week. I don't know if Las Vegas did.
Exactly, yeah. They put up a good fight. They weren't bad against the Jets. And they gave the Eagles a really good game a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. They're trying to win.
They are trying to win.
This is what you got to pay attention to this time of year. When the teams that are really bad records are trying to win, they're probably going to win when they're playing against teams that are trying to lose with really bad records.
Exactly.
What say you, Patrick?
Yeah, very good analysis. I think neither of them are trying to win. They're both trying to score negative points. Like, hey, you score. No, you score.
That's
like,
true. There was a safety in the Monday night game for the Raiders.
No, but having said all that, the Raiders had a Hail Mary with a chance to win the game against Atlanta. They played hard. Coach Pierce will have his team ready to play. That dude was a fierce linebacker when he played, and I would not mess with that guy. I'm sure he's lectured the locker room about quitting already, and, they're putting stuff on tape. They're paid professionals. Yes, the franchise and their fan base want them to lose for a better draft pick, but they're both terrible. So what are you going to do, right? When they're both terrible? So I'm actually going to go with the Raiders. I'm going to go with the home team. And Desmond Ridder, again, a professional being paid. He wants to stay in the NFL. He wants to have a backup job next year. He's not going to go out there and stink up the joint, right? So anyhow, I'm going to go with the Raiders and the home team in an absolutely dumpster fire of a game. And final score is going to be 9-6.
When Desmond Ridder was 9-6, that's a beautiful. It's a great game to go see.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna get their money's worth at that one.
Paying big money for the hot one.
When Desmond Ridder was on the roster for the Phoenix or for the Arizona Cardinals, he was on the practice squad. He wasn't the backup behind Kyler Murray. And while he was on the practice squad, he was the local spokesperson for DoorDash. And in the commercials, you could find him on YouTube. Desmond Ridder is a DoorDash driver. And he's hustling. He's working out, and then he gets a call for the DoorDash, and then in the middle of the workout, he goes, picks up food, delivers it, runs back to his car, and then gets back to the workout. So there is something to be said of what Patrick's saying, but I'm still going Jacksonville. All
right.
He's a hard worker. That's true.
Next up, the final matchup, San Francisco at Miami. Miami is a 1-point favorite on this one. Let's see. The Red Zone Nation likes Miami in this as well. Both teams sit at 6-8 on the season. Who do you like, Leslie?
Yeah, this one I think is the toughest one to pick this week. I think this is going to be a super close game. But ironically, with San Francisco at 6-8, there's still only 2 games out of first place. So, and they both have to win to keep any possible playoff chances, playoff hopes alive. But
must win.
It's for both. And, I would probably be leaning towards Miami a little bit more if Waddle wasn't out with a knee injury. I think that's a huge loss for Miami. I really wish San Francisco would get their offense clicking. If they could just get that moving, then they would be obviously a much better team. But anyway, I'm still going to go San Francisco. I think that they're going to, don't change my mind. I'm picking Niners. I really don't know why.
I know why, because you have a big clientele that comes to your bar and watches games. And smart. I wouldn't pick against them either in this situation. Patrick?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you just sold her out on her pick and doesn't sound any, confident there.
Doesn't sound very sincere,
I wasn't confident
McCormick.
to begin with. Yeah, don't worry. I wasn't confident anyway.
These are tough picks. I mean, these are tough picks this week. I feel like we haven't had tough picks in a while. These ones really could go either way.
This one's super tough because both teams need to win and get in.
Yeah, this is the toughest one of the week, I think.
No, I mean to even have a chance. Both teams need to win. Both rosters will probably shut it down if they lose this game. So this is a big game in Miami.
Right. Well, in my opinion, I don't think Miami is in playoff contention because of the surgence of the Broncos. Taking the lead in the points race, win-loss record-wise, right up the Chargers. The AFC is pretty much locked up at this point, so where the Niners still have a chance to win the West. And they played really good against the Rams. And they got that linebacker back, Greenlaw, who is just an absolute beast in the middle of the field. That guy's a stud. So I think that's a big pick-me-up for the Niners defense. And I think Shanahan's a very good coordinator. And despite all the injuries, we'll have his team ready to play. And we'll see what Brock Purdy shows up, good or bad, right? And so, anyhow, I'm picking the Niners on the road in a must-win game for the Niners against Miami. Again, Waddle out, just doesn't have enough left in the tank to finish the season and to start tanking.
I think the difference maker in this game is San Francisco's defense, actually, and they're really good at defending tight ends. And Jonnu Smith has been, whenever it's either Tyreek Hill or it's Jalen Waddle or Devon Achane is not getting what he should get in the receiving area, if it's not working out, San Francisco shuts down tight ends. Like the tight ends can't do anything against the San Francisco defense and their zone scheme. And I think San Francisco is actually going to win this by close to double digits. I'm not going to say double digits, but I'm going to say that it's going to be a pretty easy win for the San Francisco 49ers.
All right, there you go. So we got Save Jeremy's season. It's Denver at L.A. taking on the Chargers. Jacksonville heads out to Vegas to play the Raiders, and the 49ers travel out to Miami to take on
Patrick
the
went
Dolphins.
against Leslie and I. Leslie, you and I picked the same ones.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, both three. So wait, Patrick's got two lone wolf picks on his own. Do we not do that anymore?
Well, because Jeremy bitched out. It's kind of
Oh, is that? No, you can still do a lone wolf
for every single one because there's not 4 people picking. There's just 3 people picking.
I see. Okay,
There's gonna be a
Jeremy,
lone
are you
wolf.
going to tell us who you would pick?
I would take Denver, Jacksonville, Miami if it was up to me.
But if you're setting your picks in now, don't pick those because we know that's not going to be good.
Patrick, in the spirit of good sportsmanship, can we get a lone wolf just for to encapsulate the whole week's picks, please?
Show me your lightning bolt.
That's
your lone wolf.
That's not a lone wolf. That's a statement.
Yeah, I don't know how to make the sound of a charger.
So make a lightning
the
bolt.
lightning bolt, the
Give us your best thunder then.
I don't know. Don't you guys work with like electric tools? Don't chargers when they're charging they go.
That would be me. That would be me.
How lame. How lame is that?
That would be me doing the work on the pedal.
I would much rather hear your thunder, but it sounds like you got rescued by Jeff's hum and buzz. Yeah. All right. Good luck, guys, this week.
That would definitely be Patrick doing the work.
See you guys later. There goes Leslie and Patrick. The Red Zone Challenge you can play right now. Get to KZOZ.com. We're giving away $1,000 this year in cash. We got a 50-inch flat screen TV and soundbar from our friends at Coast Electronics. Plus, every week you can win $25 to go to the poorhouse or that free inspection from Be Right There Heating and Air. And this week, you can save my season. Play Save Jeremy's season. All you have to do is get 2 out of the 3 games correct that we just covered. Send in your picks right now. Denver at Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Jacksonville taking on the Raiders. And the 49ers and the Dolphins. Who do you like? 2 out of 3 of those correct. You'll win $50 to go to the poorhouse and $50 off your next service from Be Right There Heating and Air. Call thebee.com. That's 805-543-3693.
93.3 KZOZ rocks. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
All right, we got Jennifer Medina. Jen, you are in. Broncos, Jacksonville, Miami. If you get 2 out of 3 correct, you will win $50 to go to the poorhouse and $50 to be right there, heating and air. Jennifer, I hope you can save.
Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 01111 911.